Hello, welcome to Market Avenue. My name is Edward Nyakun. We're streaming live on Facebook at Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. Entrepreneurs or employee mental health is a critical issue in today's workplace. According to the World Health Organization, lost productivity resulting from depression and anxiety costs the global economy $1 trillion each year. The cost is also steep for the companies that suffer the consequences, such as absenteeism, reduced productivity. So it is essential that companies adopt practices that improve employees' quality of life at work and promote their well-being. Preventive measures can go a long way towards addressing these challenges, and this is what my guest, Michael Amankwa, the CEO of Noxy Ghana, has set out to do in the business space in Ghana. On the Ghana Stock Exchange front, composite index increased by 1.73 points, with change year to date at 28.36%. We now pause for the Biz Language platform. Hello, welcome back. We now go to the Ghana Stock Exchange to look at how the equity market fared at the end of trading session today, and we're looking at the composite index increasing by 1.73 points, as against 27 decrease as was witnessed yesterday, and change year to date is now 28.36%. Market cap has moved from 72 billion to 72 billion to 73 billion Ghana cedis. And volume of shares, yesterday we witnessed 55,000 shares exchanging hands. Today we're looking at 290,999, valued at 360,620.30 Ghana cedis. And the gainer for the day was Cal Bank, recording 0.03 pesos on its share price. MTN sold the most shares on the market, 235,617. Cal Bank 471, Public Bank 5,000. SIC 225 and Total Ghana 119, State General 565, GCB 698, and ETI 2,050. So you could see that the market was dominated in terms of most traded equities were dominated by the financial stocks, and this is how the market wrap up. The bull's presence is a little bit stronger. So we're going for a short break. When we come back, my guest, Michael Amankwa, is going to tell us more about why the need for corporate players to make sure that they are busy, they are mentally sound. We'll be right back. Hello, welcome back, Mike. Great to have you in the studio.
Pleasure.
Fantastic. Michael Amankwa, Noxy Ghana. Noxy, what exactly are you into?
Well, it's a tech company. We leverage artificial intelligence and data analytics to provide consumer solutions as well as enterprises.
Now, let's look at some of the things you've been doing. Mike, despite the AI and all those things, here you've been doing you've been climbing Afajatu and Kilimanjaro. What is driving you to be going on this kind of adventurous activity?
Well, I turned 50 in 2021, so I did a deep dive into my 50 years on Earth. And those people, some of us who are people of faith, we have God has given us 70. Therefore, I have 20 left. So that's 2 decades. So I was asking myself, how do I want to spend the next 20? And I got to the conclusion of deciding to spend the rest of my life helping people find meanings to their life. So I want to understand what life was really about. And through that, analysis, I realized that life is about you being happy, people being happy. And how do we become happy? So whilst I was going through that process, I realized I had to, at the core of happiness lies your mental health. And what does that mean? And that's what led me to this discovery of, defining who you are, what your purpose is, what the meaning of life is to you, and then, pursuing it. So I decided to challenge myself. I came up with a theory I call Michael's theory. And Michael's theory states that success in life and happiness is a choice. So I wanted to test that. And that's what led me to Kilimanjaro. So I put it out there that I'm going to go to Kilimanjaro, which is the highest mountain in Africa, the highest freestanding mountain in the world, and see if I could do it. And to do that, you have to be physically fit. You have to be emotionally sound, mentally sound, spiritually, balanced and all of that. And it worked. And that's how I was able to summit Kilimanjaro in 2022, September of 2022.
Almost 1 year.
Yeah, 1 year ago. So last week was the anniversary, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many hours did it take you to?
Oh my goodness, no hours. It took me 7 days and 6 nights.
Wow.
And and the elements are very different. You have different, climatic zones. So you have the vegetation, which are like the normal forest, and you have the moorland, which is like big rocks and dust and stones and stuff like that. And you have the Arctic, which is cold. So sometimes it's snowing, it's raining. You have sleet, So you have 6 days, 6 days and 7 nights. And the last night is the summit night, which is that's when you actually do the final climb. And you start at midnight.
Wow.
Climb, and it's like you're climbing to heaven non-stop. You can't even, Charlie, it's brutal.
Wow.
It's brutal.
Wow.
But it's my most cherished experience.
Whoa, great. So, Mike, we are talking about mental health. Is imperative to business.
It's imperative to all works. I mean, everything that we do, and business is part of the things that we do, right? And there's no way you can optimally be successful as a business if your mental health, agenda is not in order. And what is mental health really? Mental health, it refers to a person's emotional, psychological, and social well-being. In short, how one thinks and how one feels. So if you're not thinking straight, you're not feeling right, there's no way you can be yourself to be as productive as you can be. And, being an entrepreneur for over 20 years, two decades, when I look back at my own self, because I always look at myself as an example, where have I been emotionally?
Okay.
The times that I'm successful, what caused my success? The times that I failed, what caused it? And when I analyzed it, I realized that when I'm happy and I'm physically fit, that is when I'm driven. That is when I'm like a lion. I roar and I go and I face all the challenges. But when I don't feel right, that's when I just give in to what challenges as they come. So if you're not mentally sound, you're not mentally sound. When the storms of life and then the tsunamis of life come at you, it's going to dribble you. And business, when you're an executive at the top, it's lonely and it's tough. So mental health, it's not just for even the business in terms of its staff, but even the customers.
Okay.
Because a lot of times we don't even know how our customers are feeling.
Oh.
So a customer can come to patronize your service and they're really in a bad place. And they come at you, attacking you.
Exactly.
And you don't even understand why. And then you go after them, and then they go back, and then they say that you are not nice, your customer service is bad, the customer experience is terrible, and then you understand. So it's very, very important in all the things that we do. So as a business, today, every business needs to go back to the drawing board and say, what, how do we integrate, incorporate, serious level mental health policies and programs into our establishment? Wow. We have to all go back. Government, churches, schools, whatever it is, we all have to go back, because that's where we miss the plot. That's what
causes some of these challenges?
Because we don't know. We don't know, and we don't understand. We hear it, we read about it, but we don't understand it until you live it. I understood it after I summited Kilimanjaro.
Wow.
And when I summited Kilimanjaro, the picture that was taken of me at the top of it, which is Uhuru Peak, I said to myself, I am limitless. I did not conquer the mountain. I conquered myself. So you need to conquer yourself first. And before you conquer yourself first, there are a lot of things you'll go through because you need to understand how you feel at all times, what you are thinking at all times, and that is what leads you to do what? Make the change that is required.
Wow.
That is why I'm so passionate about mental health.
Michael, mental health is on your heart, and here you're going to do some biking from Accra to Kumasi. Tamale, sorry, as part of promoting mental health. What actually is the driving force behind this?
So when I tested my theory, which is Michael's theory, and I submitted Kilimanjaro, I did it as Michael Amankwa. So when I came back and I said, okay, now how do I do it with other people? Let's see if it also works. So then I came up with an agenda. I said, look, let's do something crazy. Let's do something insane, very difficult, something that most people will not even comprehend. Let us cycle from Accra to Tamale and back. That is from the south of Ghana to the north of Ghana and back in 10 days. And when I came up with it, 5 crazy people as well decided, crazy in quotes, decided to join me. So we have one lady part of us. She's called Anita Solomon. She works at DBG. We have a music teacher, Julius Richardson. We have an architect called Pius Hayford. We have a security guard who is called Enoch, and then myself as an entrepreneur.
So you have a music teacher, a banker,
a music teacher, a banker.
Okay, and a tech person.
A tech person.
Someone is
an architect.
Architect.
Yes.
Okay, so when you get there, you build your house there.
You build a house there if you get there.
Someone will protect you
yes.
as well. Okay, yes. Someone will do the intelligence. I like that. I like.
So
the
group. Beauty here is that now not only did we come up with a dream and the goal, you also need to come up with a plan. Because a lot of times we have dreams, but we don't have plans. Without a plan, you cannot prepare. So we came up with a plan and we started preparation. So we've been preparing for 4 months now.
Wow.
And every morning at 5, we wake up at 4, we get ready to start training at 5 at the University of Ghana campus. 5 times a week, we've been doing that religiously as a group. And you know what's beautiful about what we do? We are always punctual.
Wow.
Because guess what? We've made our goal
known
and it's public. So at the core of that lies your physical health, which we take for granted. Today, a lot of us are physically unfit. We are not well. People think that, the mere fact that you can move around, you are well. No. You have to exercise. You have to be super fit. So by going through this exercise on a daily basis, all of us are massively fit. And you cannot be exercising and feeling, and be good without feeling right. So that's where the mental health comes in. So mental health really is about, it starts from your physical health. You need to feel good, right? Then secondly, now your state of mind, which also includes reading. It's very, very important that we read. Where we sit in this part of the world, we don't read. In the past 18 months, I have done 70 books.
How much?
70 books. 77 books.
77 books?
77 books, yes.
18 months?
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes, because guess what? I've realized that is the secret to success. How do you acquire knowledge? And not only do you need knowledge, you need to be imaginative. So when you read, you start acquiring the knowledge, and then through that, now you soar to the level of being imaginative, and that is where solutions are. So now you take your physical health, you take your mental health, then you know what else is important? Your emotions. You always need to know how you feel. Today, one of my most found habits is every moment I'm asking myself, how do I feel? Am I happy? Am I sad? Am I anxious? Am I depressed? Because once I know how to interact and how to deal. Then the last bit is the spirituality. As a person of faith, there is God. How do you connect with your God? So there are 4 key pillars: your mental health, your physical health, your emotions, and then your spirituality. All of this have to be balanced. So to drive it home for you and your audience, just take a car with 4 wheels, 4 tires. If a tire is down, it's flat, can you move?
You can't.
If 2 are down, can you move?
You can't.
And that is how we live our lives. So some of us have 1 spirituality. Morning, evening, we are going to church. Then all the other 3 is flat. You can't move, yet you don't understand why you're not moving forward in life, right? So that is what is important at any point in time. All of those 4 wheels have to do what? Be optimally pumped and be at the required level. So you can't do one and live one. They work together. But once you understand and you get it, then you go. But what you do is that on a daily basis, every morning, you command it. You start with those 4 things. Make sure that you do some exercises, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, you do it. You do some quick reading. You do some reflections. You do your morning devotion. Quick. It doesn't have to be giddy quick. You understand? And you check how you're feeling. And once you start doing that on a daily basis, you start realizing that, Charlie, I'm powerful. I cannot be stopped. I'm limitless. And that is when you have arrived.
That's where you've arrived. So how does it impact positively on productivity at the workplace?
So at the workplace, first of all, as I always say that as an executive, because I'm an executive, you have to start with yourself. Okay. So if you're listening, you're watching this, and you're an executive, and you are not physically fit, you're not emotionally sound, then obviously now how is that going to permeate down to the people that you manage, right? And obviously that's also going to affect your customers, okay? But luckily for us these days, there's technology. Today we have artificial intelligence, which is so powerful, which is going to change the world. Today, you can use artificial intelligence here and do sentiment analysis, whereby you can actually tell how a person feels. You can actually analyze a person's communication. So if somebody sends you an email, you can actually analyze it and tell whether, is this person happy? Are they anxious? Are they sad? What's their emotional state? That would inform how you relate to them, right? Yeah. So even if a customer walks into your branch or your office or whatever it is, you can do facial recognition and tell how the person is, where they are. So you know how to relate. And as social beings, it's all about our relationships. And that is where we drop the ball, and that's where we bend bridges. So sometimes you can go to your boss and he's yelling at you for no reason, and you don't understand why.
He's not well.
He's not well. He's not well. He's not balanced. One tie or one heel is down, or 2 or 3, or sometimes all the 4. And that's when it's dangerous. So for businesses, it's important that all the employees and their key stakeholders really are emotionally balanced. Make sure that your customers, when they're coming at you, look, a happy customer, a fit customer is the best customer. If I am sick, I am not well, how do you do business with me? It's common sense. And that's where we miss it. We are always chasing the dollar, yet we forget the fundamentals.
Wow. Michael, would you recommend, as you go on this journey of promoting mental health, would you recommend that companies or businesses do check and see that, look, mentally we are fit, and to make sure that we optimize the resources at our disposal?
Last week, I went to swim because as part of what we are doing, we need to be physically fit. So I do cycling, I do swimming, I walk, I jog, and then I'm doing some tennis, right? So I went to swim early in the morning, and it's a financial institution, and they're having a health, walk, whatever. And it's an annual thing they do. This is not an annual, thing. It's a daily thing. Wow. And that's why we miss it. So sometimes we do it to check the boxes, but we need to be real. We need to be honest and sincere about it, whereby we do it on a daily basis. So these businesses have to institute programs that encourages their key stakeholders to do these things on a daily basis. And that is where you win, and that is where you get your competitive advantage, because most businesses are not doing it. And when your staff are fired up, are calm, and emotionally calm and patient, they're unstoppable.
Wow.
They're unstoppable.
Amazing. I like the stuff, Mike. Young guys coming up, looking up to you in the ecosystem, in the tech space in particular, it comes with a lot of pressure. What you do? What would you tell them?
You see, I used to sleep 2 to 3 hours back in the day, and I wanted to be a business mogul. I wanted to be a billionaire in dollars, not cedis. I wanted to be known. And I invested all my time chasing it across Africa and Asia. That is not a life. Seek happiness first. Peace of mind first. Once you have that, all the others will come. All the others will come. Today, we are chasing those material things and those goals. It's not like it's a bad thing, but there is an ingredient that you need that will propel you to what, to be successful, and that's where we miss it. If you're not reading, you're not feeding your mind. How do you become innovative? How do you solve, problems? You can't. You can't. If you're not emotionally controlled, how do you deal with, angry customers? A staff that, Charlie, maybe, what do you call it? He had an issue at home. His husband, there's no money, husband, and all of those things, and broken hearts are all. Then they come and they're human and they're down. You need to understand the person is down, and you deal with them differently. So you have to be smart. You don't have to wait for them to tell you. So what we do is that we are not proactive. We wait to be, you wait for the person to come and tell you that, oh, I'm not well. No, you need to be able to detect before it even gets bad. So when it comes to, mental health, we have good mental health, and we have what? The disorders. And there are degrees of it. Even in Ghana, if you are driving, you fall in pothole, and the car is shaking your head, and it's a state of mental health. So we have different, levels of that. But it's important that we are aware, Because that's where we miss it. We are not aware that, people, when you say mental health, people think that it's being in a psychiatric hospital or being naked on the street. No, we all have forms of it on a daily basis. Just that there's a difference in the severity of it. But once you are conscious of it, you're able to check yourself. You're able to check yourself. And that's what I have done over this period. And I'm like, you know what? Truly, success and happiness is a choice and it's achievable. And that is what I'm doing by, coming up with these big audacious goals and showing the world that, you know what, it's done. It's
so you are biking from Accra to Tamale. So from how many days to Kumasi? How many days to Kintampo? How many days to
So we are looking like a day to Kumasi.
A day to Kumasi?
Yeah, we're looking like a day to Kumasi.
Riding from Accra to Kumasi?
Yeah, we're looking at it. And we've been training.
And how many hours are you?
So we've planned not more than 8 hours. So we start like 5:30 in the morning by 1, because the sun is there. It's tough. You're talking about the risk on the road. You're talking about the vehicular traffic, the terrible roads we have. You're talking about rain. You're talking about the heat. So all of these elements. But this is the beauty of it. We are designed and built to overcome challenges. We need to take risk, which is what most people don't do, and we like to be in our comfort zone. Life is not about being in your comfort zone. The moment you're comfortable, you're missing the plot. You're missing, life. You always have to be in a state of discomfort, and that is what we want to prove. Are we scared? Of course we are scared. Are we worried? Of course. Our loved ones are. My dad is watching right now, and it's like, I don't even know where you come from. What's wrong with you? Do you have to do this? My mom just keep on praying and said, I hope you change your mind. I hope you change your mind. And let me tell you a quick story. The last day of Kilimanjaro, the summit night, and normally you do that at midnight.
Okay.
So at about 9 p.m., when I was prepping and all of that, and I got a WhatsApp, because sometimes you have connectivity on the mountain. My mom sends me an emotional WhatsApp message. Oh, Don, my son. They call me Don. My nickname is Don Miller, so they call me Don. Don, I beg you. You've done enough. We are proud of you. Come home. Don't go. And I looked at it. I'm like, I love my mom so much. She's here. And here's my promise to everybody else. Okay, I said, Mom, Charlie, God is with me. I'll do it, right? So it's about being bold and understanding your purpose and what makes you happy. You understand? And today, where I am poised to be a successful, mega successful entrepreneur. Not for myself, but for the common good of what? Humanity.
Wow. What will be the biggest legacy you want to leave as you promote mental health?
The biggest legacy is for people to realize that they are limitless. They are limitless. We are capable. Live a life that God will say, you know what?
My son,
my daughter, you lived. And unfortunately for us, our culture does not allow us to dare, does not allow us to do crazy things. But that is where beauty lies. And I always tell guys, get out in nature. I've done Afaja 18 times. I've done Afaja 16 times in 18 months. Wow. I took a whole week off to go live in the village, climbing the mountain 3 times in a day, and then going to the waterfall. And you know what? The air is clean. The place is quiet. So you spend time with yourself, and then you are thinking. And there's miracle in nature. So in Kilimanjaro, you will see plants and flowers and things that they are not necessarily, they are not supposed to be there. But they are there. So what it means is that, look, no matter your situation, there is a way.
Mike, there's a way, no matter your situation. A pleasure meeting you.
It's a pleasure, my brother.
Wow.
Thank you.
So when are you starting the trip?
November 1st to the 11th.
Good.
Yes.
Wish you God's grace.
Thank you so much.
Bless you.
Grateful.
So this is our wrap up today on Market Event. My name is Edward Nyaku. My guest has been Domela Michael Amankwa, who set out to bike from Accra to Tamale and back in 10 days' time. God willing, come here again tomorrow. Shalom.